very simple. You know, I'm a simple guy. I think that it's crazy. I mean, you know, food as a weapon is not new. Sherman, you know, did a scorched earth policy when during the Civil War when he was down in Georgia. He was trying to kill everybody inside, and he was killing the food, so he was going to kill the people. I mean, that's what he did. So this is not new in terms of a way of waging war, except that this now, instead of just burning everything, this has genetically modified ingredients which they don't even have a clue which way they're going to jump, which way they're going to go. We don't know, except that we do know it is not going to be good for our bellies.
And they've done tens of thousands of different ones, and some are going bad, some are going kind of sideways. None of it's good. You know,
some are going to make people infertile so that there won't be any kids.
Exactly.
I hope all of your listeners, Alex, know about the Austrian study that was released about 10 days ago.
Yeah, tell them.
Which shows the two. Pardon me?
Yeah, tell them about the mice.
Two types of corn, NK603 and MON810, are ubiquitously approved even in Europe for animal feed and for human consumption. Now, these corns, remember when food used to have names? Well, once it starts to have numbers, you're in big trouble. These patented types of corn cause infertility in mice. We're not very different from mice. If you'll notice, think about when your parents, or when you, if you're older than 20 or 30, started to have children. You and your friends all became pregnant pretty much when you wanted to. Well, at this point, the numbers of infertile couples, the number of people who have to go for fertility treatment or never do manage to become parents through biological means, the number of people who have huge reproductive problems is increasing rapidly. And if anybody thinks that's an accident, they really need to get their head out of the sand,
Doctor,
because they've got...
Doctor, as you know, that's why the main guinea pig they use is mice and rats, because biologically they found that mice, rats, and pigs with cross-spectrum drugs and tests are the closest to our metabolic system. And so, conclusively, in a whole bunch of studies at sterilizing mammals that eat all sorts of GMO, and that's clearly being engineered into that. Now, you've mentioned this head of state, and I know for confidentiality reasons you can't get into it, but specifically, flesh it out. Was there anything else she said you haven't told us?
Oh, yes. She said a great deal that I haven't discussed. One of the things that she did was bring her children to me, these were grown children, to find out whether they had been conditioned through mind control techniques as she believed that she had been. Now, remember, people say, well, she would know whether she was conditioned through mind control techniques. No, not at all, because people have their awareness compartmentalized through the horrific processes that are used. And many of the things that we call satanic or ritual abuse are, in fact, mind control programs that are disguised in a quasi-religion of Satanism, which, of course, is no religion at all, but is really a political program designed to produce the desired effect in human behavior. Because, after all, just as biology and life are not sacred to these people, so behavior and the essence of humanity that many people call the soul is not sacred either. And people may say, my God, have they no limits to what they will invade and destroy? And the answer is no, they have no limits.
Well, I've studied the globalists for a long time, and what you're saying is their religion is betrayal. Their religion is defiling innocence and destroying beauty and hurting the order of things. They want to remake creation in their own image. General Stubblebine, I know it's all classified, you can't get into it, but you ran Special Forces. You know, I know you know about it, a film with George Clooney coming out about you, but the point is, I know you can't get much into it, but you guys were, into the whole mind power, being studied in the Army. You headed that up. Did you guys in your research ever run into, back in that time, the dark stuff that Dr. Laibow is talking about?
One of the, she brought that up. One of the things that very interestingly came to me, I've got to go back into just a very quick bit of history. When I took over the Intelligence and Security Command, which was my final command, I actually had under me all of the Army Strategic Intelligence Forces around the world. Every one of the Army Strategic Intelligence Forces belonged to me, not the tactical, just the strategic. But during that period, our resources were going down and our requirements were going up. So what I did was I put together a thing I called the High Performance Task Force, go out and find all of the things that would allow a person to work better, not longer, so that we could still meet our requirements. Well, out of that came some very fascinating things, one of which, and this is in this stupid book about staring at goats, one of that items was a thing which could be used if you stared at a goat, you could explode its heart. Well,
stay there, General. We've got to talk about. We've got to break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. We'll finish up with this powerful information. Stay with us.